What?
The internal issue is that he hadn't played well.
That's not it. That's not it.
Oh, hold on. Robert Saleh, when asked why Allen Lazard was a healthy scratch, he know his play is not up to standard.
The
internal issue. Robert Saleh, Josina Anderson just reported.
That's not it.
Robert Saleh on why Allen Lazard was a healthy scratch. He knows his play is not his standard.
Well, if that's the goddamn case, whoa. If his if Robert Saleh, let me finish. I'm gonna let you go. If Robert Saleh said Allen Lazard's play is not up to standard, so he was a healthy scratch, they should have forfeited the whole fucking game because the whole offense ain't been up to standard since the season started. They should just forfeited the game because ain't nobody offensively done shit, so they should have forfeited the goddamn game instead of playing the Dolphins. I'm just saying, if that's the excuse you want to lead with, if that's the excuse Robert Saleh want to get a motherfucking media, that's some bullshit. Bench your goddamn body.
I'm taken aback by this. Oh my God.
I'm just saying, if that's what he want to say, his play isn't up to standards, well, neither is the other motherfucking 10 on the goddamn field.
Wow.
Bench everybody.
Wow.
That scapegoat.
I think you owe, first of all, I think you owe me an apology. You owe me an apology.
I love you. But I'm speaking my feelings. I'm speaking my feelings on that bullshit excuse coach just used. Allen Lazard is the goddamn scapegoat because shit ain't going well. But you know what? I gotta find a way to get the heat off of. I gotta find a way to put the heat on somebody. Oh, you know who we gonna pick on?
No.
We're gonna pick on motherfucking Allen Lazard.
You told me. You made me come out here and give Jalen Hurts and give Dak Prescott an apology. I want my apology.
Because
when I tried to tell, no, you apologize because you called me a lie. You say you big bald head black lie. Now I want an apology, and I know the people in the chat. People, let's get a thing. Do y'all want Chad to give me an apology?
I think the people
because he's been very
the people in the chat, they better be on my side and see through the bullshit they doing over there in New York.
Ain't no bull jive.
Oh, that's bull jive. Oh, his play hasn't been a standard. Well, who motherfucking play has? Who play over there has? In week 10, name me somebody who played in New York.
Hold on,
Ocho. Has been up to standard.
Ocho, what you just told me when I said you got to have a belief, you say it's your job to do your job. Why are you worried about what somebody else is doing other than Allen Lazard? Let's talk about him. I'm just going by what you said.
Based on what the coach said Allen Lazard play wasn't up to par. That's why he was healthy scratch. And then my next bit was, well, who the fuck play has been up to par?
I'm talking about him.
Okay, this is a team game. This is a team game, ain't it?
To 25 that actually.
No, I'm going to read the whole thing. We're not just going to skip to 18 to 25. We're going to read into it because you ain't going to understand what's going on if you don't read into it. Because I don't.
Oh, so now they want to read the whole verse. That is hilarious. Hold on. Now I didn't want to read the whole thing. All right.
See what the point is of a man's entire lineage from Adam to be named in order for him to not be the father of the person. What sense did that make? Right? Let's keep going.
You just butchered the text. Read it.
I haven't even opened the text. What did I butcher the text? I said somebody's lineage is listed in Matthew 1. How am I butchering the text? This is fear.
Go to Matthew 1.
I've never butchered the text. Why would the genealogy of a man who has no biological relation to Jesus Christ be listed in
you want to read, or you want me to hang up on you?
All right. So to ask those dumb rhetorical questions, it's like, why would a man biologically? It's like, dude, stay on one thing. We're talking about the father of Jesus, and now you want to run from that because you. And I sympathize with his and empathize with his frustration because they always do this. Like, this is a retarded high school dropout tactic to talk about something, but they don't really have a strong stance on it. They just got a lot of trickery. But when they talk to somebody who they believe is qualified to maneuver through the trickery, they don't want to stand on one thing, one thought. They want to jump to something else. It's like, wait a minute. Why are we talking about what's the purpose of the lineage? Why are we talking about Mary's father when we're supposed to be talking about the father of Jesus? So that's why he's so frustrated. Like, yo, that only works when you street teach or you get the randoms to join your live. That's not going to work. You know, the way he's thinking, it's not going to work with me, a qualified individual.
You've got 5 seconds to decide. 5, 4.
Why are you going to hang up? I've been respectful.
Go to Matthew 1. Matthew 1.
So he's saying, go to Matthew 1, go to Matthew 1. And this is the same frustration I have. Because instead of going to Matthew 1, he just steady talking. It's like, dude, you're not having an honest discussion. Because why are we doing all this talking? Let's just read it and talk about what we read. Hey, man, you're not an honest guy. And he's going. Yo, let's just read the text. You called. First of all, it's how he called acting like he was not Grla Hebrew. So when he found out when the chat ratted him out, that's already one thing. And now, so the whole thing started off rocky. He wasn't really honest with who he was calling it. He tried to pretend to be just a random caller asking questions, but you're the leader of a Hebrew Israelite group trying to get your shine on.
I said I'm going. Watch.
Listen,
Apollos, go kiss Adonis. Bye, Apollos.
Why have to be?
Again, I said I'm going there. A second.
But why aren't you just reading it? You don't got to say I'm going there. Just start reading it. But like these guys memorize these key verses. Like all of us memorize Matthew chapter 1. Like the key verses that we run to. We don't need to go there. What are you talking about? Come on, man. Like all of us be debating this virgin birth so often and for so many years that we don't have to read the Bible verbatim. Like we can pretty much paraphrase and get to the gist of it. I'm going there. All that talking and you ain't there yet. When you first called up, you should have been there. Like how hard is this to like do? Y'all see me. How hard is it to do this prayer? He's running his mouth instead of doing this. Look how fast that was. Boom. All right. Here, help and read. Yep. And Jacob begot Joseph, or verse 25. And Jesus knew her not. See how easy that was? Just start reading. All right. Let me leave that right there because I'm going to need that.
Yep.
Hangs up on me. I'm going to where you asked me to go. I get hung up on. Okay, hold on. Let me show you guys the logical fallacy that he's doing, right? It's going to explain it all really good through the spirit and probably how about you outside. So this is called affirming the consequent, right? Affirming the consequent, sometimes called converse error, fallacy of the converse, or confusion of necessity and sufficiency, is a formal fallacy of taking a true conditional statement, right? If the lamp were broken, then the room would be dark, and invalidly inferring its converse. The room is dark, so the lamp is broken, right? So what he's saying is, because Jesus is the son of David, Mary has to be from David. Right. This is a logical fallacy. That doesn't mean that necessarily. Even though the converse may not be true, it may not be true, you know, that she's of the, there's no proof there. Just because he's a descendant of David does not mean that she is.
Yeah, the same way that the lamp doesn't need to be broken, somebody could have just turned the lights off.
Exactly. Right. For the room to be dark, right? This arises when a consequent, the room would be dark, has more than one possible antecedents. For example, the lamp is not plugged in, the lamp is not working order, but it's switched off. Right. Yeah. Right? See? So it's the same thing. Oh, he can have another parent that's of David, but he employs a logical fallacy in order to prove his point. That takes away from his point right there.
The dude it quotes Matthew, but he doesn't quote 18 and 25.
First off, I didn't even quote Matthew. I said in Matthew, a whole genealogy is given of somebody.
Yeah, but you already
who has allegedly no biological. So why? Joseph, I mean, what is it after the first couple chapters of gospel? When does it even mention Joseph? But the New Testament starts with his lineage. But there's no other prominent, he plays no other prominent factor in the Bible at all. We don't hear about him past 12 years old, when that interaction Yahushua had when they looking for him when he would stay back in the temple. You don't hear about Joseph again in the whole Bible. But the Bible starts, the New Testament rather starts with his lineage. I need somebody to make that make sense. That's all I was asking. But now, of course, I'm being repackaged here.
Jokes. All right. See? They can't show you Jesus has a biological father, so I have to butcher Matthew 1.
And yo, why ain't Grla Hebrew since he's doing a recap? And I'm not sure because I didn't play the whole thing. But let me just play it just in case he never plays it. Hold on. All right. Okay. So I almost forgot what I was doing. All right. So I wonder if he's going to play this part because I got a feeling he's going to cherry pick. And it was a small discussion. It was very short between him and Sam Shamoun. So I wonder if he's going to play this right here. This part. And explain this part. Oh, all right. That would be very honorable. Tone, peace. I got a guy ready to hop on, by the way.
David's seminal fluid had to produce. Understanding the prophecies, I understand that this all had to happen by the seed of David.
And what does the seed of David mean?
The seed of David means David's seminal fluid.
And how could David's seminal fluid be transferred to Jesus when he was dead 1,000 years before the birth of Jesus?
Well, of course, he had descendants that were created from his seminal fluid, and they had such.
No, you're not listening to yourself. You see, this is the problem I have. You didn't listen. You said he has to be the seed of David, and you said the seminal fluid of David. But now you extended that to the seed of his descendants. That's not what you said. So it's not literally the seed of David, right? It's not literally his seminal fluid, right?
Well, him particularly, no.
Okay.
So why'd you just say it then? And that's his frustration. It's like, dude, you don't stand or anything. You'll say something hoping it sticks. And when you get challenged, right? And when you can't just say any old thing because we'll hold you accountable, then you just leave it like you never said it. And that's the frustration that I have, he has, and a lot of people who deal with these guys often. Some people just are better with not showing their frustration. Yeah, so I definitely got a guy who's going to come on. So I said, let me play a little bit of this before he hops on.
John 1:45. I can't show you? Okay. What was the question? Why is somebody who has no biological genealogy, no biological link to Jesus being spoke about, and his genealogy being given?
Okay. So he's asking this question. He's asking the question, disrespecting all scholars that examined the text since thousands of years ago. Okay. And you don't believe that question was asked? Well, why is Joseph here if he's not the biological father? So you would think, or not. I know I would. I'll just do a simple Google search. Why is Jesus in there? Just to get what is being said. I want to understand the consensus. That's what smart people do. So it's like, wait, this doesn't make sense to me. But what makes sense to the experts, the scholars? Let me see. Then you type it in there and say, hey, man, why is? And then you'll get the answer. Then you could say, you could either disagree or agree at that point. But at least you know what. At least you know what the reason why the scholars say, or the reason why the popular decision, the popular interpretation. Why do they believe that Joseph is in the genealogy, but isn't listed as a father? Right? You have to have something to go off. You can't debate something where you're just clueless to your opposition, right? Their thoughts, their opinions, like you're just their theories, their hypotheses. You're just clueless. Who goes into a debate clueless of what your op would say or understand, what they believe? I'll tell you who would go in there clueless. A guy with this kind of background. Let me show you what kind of guy will hop into a debate clueless. Okay. Let me show you what type of guy who will hop into a debate clueless without understanding what the opposition believes about what you're clueless about.
I'm Chief Priest Alazar aka the Grla Hebrew. I'm just a high school dropout, convicted felon, street thug, and let's go.
That's who. Only a high school dropout, street thug, and a current felon will not want to understand what your ops believe. If you're going to debate them and face them, you might want to know what they believe. In court, you have something called discovery. You want to take a peek at your ops of defense or offense. You don't go into a battle, a intellectual battle, clueless of what your ops believe. It's retarded.
Can't show you? Okay. What was the question?
That's why, like, these guys, I believe everything they believe is wrong, but I make it my business to understand why they believe that.
Why is somebody who has no biological genealogy, no biological link to Jesus being spoke about in his genealogy?
And I already answered that yesterday with the other guy who pretty much asked the same question. I gave one, reason why he would be there. For one, because it shows that he's linked to Jesus by being his stepfather. Okay, he's only married to Jesus' mother. He's only married to Jesus' mother. It ain't like he has no connection with Jesus. Now, if he had zero connection, then I was like, why is he there with zero connection? But even that will have some type of belief or answer, hypothesis, theory. Okay, but he is just only married to Jesus' mother. And the Bible keeps emphasizing that he's from the lineage of David. Every time it mentions Joseph, it keeps mentioning his connection, his bloodline connection, his relative kinsman connection to David's line, to David's seed. So that's like hint, 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 hint. He's not the father of Jesus, but he is he has a kinsman connection with the seed of David, and Mary's married to him. Hint, hint, hint. That's just a clue. That's called a clue. Okay? When you read a lot of these religious books, it would be a lot of clues in there. They're very mysterious. A lot of clues in there because they've written it like a certain way. I forgot what they call it, the poetic type of style of writing. A lot of religious books. I think even some of the comedic material. That's why you have so many debates on this stuff, because it's not clear. But there's a lot of clues out there that can direct you somewhere. Or with the lack of gathering clues, you could come up with the wrong conclusion. Which you see when people talk to Ujawu, Jabari, somebody who's not really immersed in that doctrine, you could read some, comedic material and mess it up. Because you're not familiar with all the clues. And clues is another word for evidence.
Being given. Who's not a prominent factor in the scripture at all. Let's go. Matthew 1:1. Start there.
You still want that, John?
Son of Joseph. Read that first, because he said there's no scripture that says that Jesus has a biological father. Well, let's find out.
John 1:45. Philip findeth Nathanael and saith unto him, We have found him of whom Moses in the law and the prophets did write.
Read.
Jesus of Nazareth.
Jesus of Nazareth. Read.
The son of Joseph.
The son of Joseph. Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph. Right? So he's Joseph's son. Now, go to Luke 2:48. So here's the question. This guy believes in the perpetual virginity of Mary, right? So it can't be his stepson, his stepdad, because if the marriage was never consummated, matter of fact, legal zoom, annulment for refusal to consummate the marriage. After a wedding, it is customary and expected that the parties live together and consummate their legal union. If a couple does not have sexual intercourse after the wedding, either spouse may follow for a divorce or annulment of the marriage. Meaning annulment means it never happened. It's like it never happened. You don't have sex, the marriage never happened. Especially, and this is according to America. How much more God, which says sex is marriage, right? Where we at? Matthew 1:1. Let's start here. No, get Luke 2:48. My fault. I keep forgetting that. Go ahead.
2:48. And when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou thus dealt with us?
Mm-hmm.
Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing.
So thy father. So Mary identifies Joseph as the father of Yahushua.
All right. So let me play this right here again. So you see how he jumps to conclusions? And I'm telling you, Stu P's made a great point. Without a high school diploma, you don't have logic. Like, logic is something that's taught to you. And you see college, they have like logic and philosophy books.
I'm Chief Priest Alazar at the Grla Hebrew. I'm just a high school dropout.
See? So when your educational background is similar to that, you end up with more questions than answers. This is why he has a lot of questions and he has few answers.
Very plainly.
But then he's too arrogant just to have a sincere conversation and extract information. Like, we got to debate it. We got to debate the correct information into these guys. Think about that. Think about how arrogant they are, where I can show you email receipts where I told the guys, hey, man, just call me. Like, let's just have a conversation. No online, none of that stuff. Let's just, and where we get stuck at, let's have a debate on that, right? So let's hash out what we agree with and see where we disagree and see where we get stuck at. And then let's, we can make that live. They don't want to have a conversation at all. They're stuck, but they have all the questions. It's like, listen, you got all the questions. We, when I say me, LJ, LCK, Tone, Meech, Vocab Malone, Sam Shamoun, just name a few. Dr. Michael Brown, like the people who constantly debate this, I name, and you got other people out there as well, David Wood and whoever else. Like, we believe, and all the other Israelite staffs that's out there that teach the truth on the virgin birth. A lot of them guys, I have spoken to. There's a lot out there, by the way. Like I know when I debate a lot of these guys, they be from they got the Israelite culture belief, but believe me, there's just as many Israelites that dress like how they dress that do not believe that Joseph is the biological father. I'm telling you, and I invited them on here by mistake. I was mistaken. I'm thinking they're saying they are against it, and they was for it. So I got to weave them out the way just to get to the. So there's a lot that believe that Joseph is the biological father, and they've been believing that for a long time. Like it wasn't myself. Like I'm not the reason why they believe that. Like whoever put that seed in their head and watered it, somebody else get that credit. I don't get that credit. I only get the credit, and people that work with me only get the credit for like the last year. So in the last year, somebody changed their mind. Then I believe I was a big part of that, and everybody who came on this channel was a big part of that. But anybody that changed their mind 2 years, 3 years ago, I probably had nothing to do with them changing their mind. Even though I got a video out there that's pro virgin birth, 8 years old, the lack of views show you that it wasn't that influential, impactful. So I'm not taking credit for anybody who changed their mind within more than the last year. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, so let's see. The guy might be ready, maybe not. And the reason why I don't invite a lot of guys on, the ones that believe in the okay. So they like to do things like that where they just randomly show, hey, Mary said, Jesus, your mother and your father were looking for you. And this was Shamoun was trying to get him to read verse 18 in Matthew, chapter 1, verse 18. Because let me just lay this down. Let me just lay this down real fast. Let me just lay this down. Matter of fact, let's go back. Okay. So this is what the Christian world believes. And when I say Christian world, you could just add scholars in there who just read the Bible just for what it is and came up with the same conclusion. So the Christian world and scholars who are, just can read English and comprehend it well. We all read this part where Joseph just plays the husband role of Mary. Okay, now watch this. Watch this. This is important. KJV, Bible browse. This is my favorite Bible. Outside of Blue Letter, this is, and Bible Hub, this is my favorite because this is just faster to maneuver. And when you click Genesis, this is all 50 chapters. So if you go to anything else, you got to click the next chapter. This is Matthew 1, and then go to Matthew 2. I got to click that. I'm sorry, not that. This. I got to click that. Okay, but this, once you click a book, it has all the books there. That's why I love this. So it's easy just to control, find, and maneuver. All right, so listen. So what we point out is that the whole mother and father thing is not good enough to say, see, that's the father, because things like this happen. Look at this. You got Exodus 2. Okay. Look at this. This is talking about Moses, all right? So that's just, so then said his sister to Pharaoh's daughter, should I go and call to thee a nurse of the Hebrew women, that she may nurse the child for thee? Because they just found a Muslim, they just found a Hebrew child in the water. Okay. So Pharaoh's daughter took the child. See, she take the child away and nurse it for me, and I will give thee thy wages. And the woman took the child and nursed it. And the child grew old, and she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. Uh-oh. Look, and he became her son. And she called his name Moses. All right, so how did Moses, a Hebrew, from Hebrew women, become the son of Pharaoh's daughter, who's an Egyptian? See, so it's goofy, and that shows me, that gives me high school dropout vibes when you have that type of understanding. Like, like he's supposed to be somebody who's well versed in the Old and New Testament. So someone like himself, a young Pharaoh, someone like that, I would expect to make that mistake. But Tariq Nasheed, people who don't talk about the Bible at all, I expect them to make that mistake. Target Bay, but somebody who's supposed to be a Hebrew leader, like you would think that he's seen the words mother, father, son, and daughter a lot, and when it's used, it's not always to express a biological son, daughter, mother, and father. Because you're looking at it right now, Moses became her son. So according to this guy's logic, that means Moses is a son of Pharaoh's daughter. It's just stupid. So when you just raise somebody up, and play the father role, you become their mother, father, and they become your daughter and son. The Bible takes that. Like here, we'll do that in today's time, in 2023. We'll do it, but the neighborhood will acknowledge, okay, that's not your son. You just stepping in because old boy, old girl, whatever, ain't right. But these times, back in these days, when you took a child and raised it, that was your child. Like, nobody didn't see that any differently than your own biological children. Okay, so when you look at this passage right here, so at that point, I'd be like, yo, do they know that, or is that high school, is the lack of the high school diploma really interfering with their way to process information? But now we got Esther. Look what it says here. Okay, watch this. So we're at Mordecai. This is talking about Mordecai. Okay, so now in Shushan, the place, there was a certain Jew whose name was Mordecai, the son of Jair, the son of Shimei, the son of Kish, a Benjamite. So he's a Benjamite. Okay. Watch this. He brought up Hadassah, that is Esther. Esther. This is Mordecai's uncle's daughter. So that means they're first cousins, right? So they're first cousins, but he brought her up. He raised her up. So it acknowledged that see right here, it acknowledges his true role. He's just her first cousin. Esther is his uncle's daughter. Okay, that means his father's daughter. Okay. So now watch this. Because he brought her up, look what he's called later. Then this is chapter 9 of the book of Esther, verse 29. Because he brought her up, look what he's called later. Then Esther, the queen, the daughter of Abihail, and Mordecai the Jew. So she's the daughter of two men now. This is her biological father who died, and this is Mordecai, her first cousin, the Jew, who raised her, who brought her up. And he's listed as a father. She's the daughter of two men, biological father and the man who raised her, who is now acknowledged as her father. That's the Bible. And again, I got hundreds of examples that can show that.
Right? So watch this. So let's go to get Matthew. Read Matthew 1:1 real quick.
Matthew 1:1, the book of the generation of Jesus Christ.
The book of the generation of Jesus Christ. Right? Go ahead.
The son of David, the son of Abraham.
So now if I go to Exodus 6:16, it says, and these are the names of the sons of Levi, according to the generations: Gershom and Kohath and Merari. And the years of the life of Levi were 137 years.
Yeah, I had to change the diaper. All right. Yeah. So let's see where he goes.
Right.
Now.
So we see that Levi, the man, had 3 sons: Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. Right. So this is about a man and his sons. So if I start with Jesus Christ having a generation, how do I conclude anything other than he is the son of a man? Oh, what about the fact that he's called the son of man? He's the son of man, but he ain't got a daddy.
The son of man is not.
All right. So now I didn't know their understanding was that bad. I gotta write that one down. Yeah. Do you know when he was calling himself son of man, the Jews took that saying as he's making himself equal with God. The son of man, the Jews interpret that as no different than the son of God. I can't believe he didn't know that.
He's called the son of man. I conclude anything other than he is the son of a man. Jesus Christ having a generation is sons.
All right, 904. I gotta clip this. I gotta clip this. This is embarrassing. I didn't know he was this goofy.
So if I start with Jesus Christ having a generation, how do I conclude anything other than he is the son of a man? Oh, what about the fact that he's called the son of man?
Yeah, this fool thinks when Jesus Christ was calling himself the son of man, he was calling himself the son of a man.
He's the son of man, but he ain't got a daddy.
This guy is slow, man. He really is.
You had some precepts?
Yeah, about Joseph being David.
Hit the.
Okay,
so if I start with Jesus Christ having a generation, how do I conclude anything other than he is the son of a man? Oh, what about the fact that he's called the son of man? So if I start with Jesus Christ having a generation, how do I conclude anything other than he is the son of a man? Oh, what about the fact that he's called the son of man? So if I start with Jesus Christ, he's the son of man, but he ain't got a daddy.
The son of man is not the son of a man.
You had some precepts?
Yeah, about Joseph being David.
Hit those precepts real quick. I'll be right back.
Matthew chapter 1, verse 20. But while he appeared on these things, but while he thought on these things, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a dream, saying, Joseph, thou son of David. See, he has to imply and infer and interpolate Mary being a descendant of David. The scriptures are clear. It says Joseph is the son of David. So that's one witness.
No. That's not the argument, though. Nobody. Okay. You see what they do here? They make up an argument that nobody argues. Everybody who reads the Bible and take it word from word, story by story, everybody agrees that Joseph comes from David's seed, which means his lineage. Okay? He's a descendant of David. But he's acting like somebody disagrees. He's acting like this is evidence. How is that evidence of Joseph being the father of Jesus? So the same way he read so clear that Joseph is the son of David in a descendant way, why can't he read the same for Jesus? Why he just can't read Jesus, the son of Joseph? Why he just can't read that if it's so clear and the Bible's so clear and there's so many witnesses? Why we just can't read that? All right, hold on. I think the guy might be ready. All right, so dude is ready to call in, and you're gonna see.
I'm gonna get Luke chapter 1, verse
So
27.
now, Tone, keep in mind, it's entertainment, but it's really edutainment. So I do the educating, and the Israelite brothers entertain you by their response, their reactions to the education. Okay, so I'm not really trying to make them like a proverb or make them look foolish in order to have the entertainment. I want them to naturally do it themselves. Okay, so I really sincerely don't want to purposely make them the joke, because any one of us could be wrong at any time, at any given time, and we wouldn't like somebody to do that to us. You dig? So I'm compassionate in that sense. Again, the entertainment he will provide by his reaction to the truth or lack thereof. Some of these guys respond not too bad, like they accept what's being read. But others, their response is classical. It's entertaining. You dig? And I just keep getting that response out of them by keep reading more truth. Okay, so he doesn't even know why he's called the Son of Man. He's making an argument about the Son of David, Joseph being the son of David, which is completely like this has nothing to do.
So a virgin espoused to a man whose name was Joseph of the house of David. It's 2 times Joseph is.
Wait. Tone, you hop on. I'm gonna send a link. I just thought about it. The guys can call in. So if Stu Pease is there, if Tone, okay. So this is for any if Stu Pease is there, if Tone is there, this is for you. LJ, you too. So if everybody wants to click a link. So if I'm too aggressive, click that link. I'm gonna have listen. No, Sam didn't debate. Since Sam didn't debate Grla Hebrew, he hung up on him because Grla Hebrew kept trying those tricks that he tries on the street, or when you hop on his podcast, he cuts you off and change the subject. Sam didn't allow him to do that. So Sam kept him to the task, and Grla Hebrew didn't want to play ball, so he kicked him off. But before he kicked him off, he made Grla Hebrew look foolish. So now, and Grla Hebrew is cherry picking which parts of the debate he wants to play back. So let me show another part of the debate that I think he did play. All right. You know what? I'm just play it. So that's the link for anybody who wants to come on to talk to the Hebrews like guy I'm going to have on. So you click the link, it's to talk to him, talk some sense into him by the information that I read. Okay, so here. So Tone, this is your chance to try it your way. All right. Okay, let me add this. So that's the phone number. And let me do this. So I'm going to stop this one. So okay. So I'm gonna send him the link. All right. So I'm gonna send him the link. So Tone, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop off the conversation. I'm gonna direct it towards the virgin birth, and I'm going to have him object. Well, he's gonna object. I'm gonna put him in a position to either accept it or reject it. object it, and he's going to object it. And then once he do that, Tone, you can ask him a question.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I can
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, have him present his argument so we know exactly
No.
what
See,
the,
the thing is,
what the fight is.
but there's no argument to have. You got to get it out of him, because all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna direct him to the virgin birth, and then he's gonna say, I don't agree. Then you're gonna say,
oh, okay,
you're gonna say, why not? Okay.
Yeah, I got you. You go,
Right,
baby.
so,
I got
yeah,
you.
he's not gonna call in. We're gonna say, hi, what's your argument? Because then we're attacking him.
There you go.
Yeah. So let me.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was under the impression he was coming in to debate Virgin Bird, but I got you now. I'm driving home, but I'll be home here in a minute, so I'll hop back on when I see you.
All right.
You gonna start a new live?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So let me stop this live.